What's up, my hunting brothers and sisters? Today we're taking a look at the new Ignition from Shot Archery. This is a premium release. Is it worth it? Is it worth your money? Let's check it out in this video. This is a nice product. Boom, we have a new release from Shot Archery. So this is the new for 2025, the Ignition. Okay, so real quick, full disclosure, I've been working with Shot Archery for the last 6 or 7, maybe 8 years now. I'm friends with Dave White, who owns Shot, and Robin Parks, who's kind of like their manager, social media guru, tech guy, all that stuff. So just get that out of the way. I don't pay for Shot products, but I wanted to introduce the new Shot release to y'all. Okay, so in early 2024, this showed up on my doorstep. This is a prototype of the Ignition. Used it some. Multiple other prototypes I got my hands on over the course of the year and used them some. And this is one of the very first production models or units that anyone could buy. So again, I did not pay for it. So is this video biased? Obviously, yes. But that all being said, let's go through this release because it is pretty cool and new for 2025 and very exciting. This is a premium release. $310-ish or so dollars is retail. It's a lot of money for release, but it's a premium product. When you start going down that road of premium products, say compared to $100 or $150 or a $250 release, it is the tiny, tiny, tiny details that may or may not make it worth you spending that kind of money. This is the premium of the premium, though. Okay, Shot's the oldest name in mechanical releases. They've got all the experience, made in the USA, lifetime, no questions asked warranty. You can actually take and send them back. This X-Bot of mine actually is very dirty, needs to go back, have them tear the thing apart, clean it. They'll actually, if they've changed up the mechanisms on any of their releases on the inside, they'll swap out new parts or old parts, all free of charge. Okay, so that's what you're getting when you buy a Shot release, all the way from their lower budget end releases all the way up to the primo like this. So let's open this box up and take a look at this release. Comes packaged in a little foam bed right here. They basically have like a little bread tie that holds it in here, so we're going to pull this out of here. And there it is. That is the Ignition. You're like, well, it's a thumb button release. Like, why is this thing worth $310? Well, we're going to talk about all that. So again, premium product. Right out of the gate, what you'll notice on this product is it has very much a matte finish to it. Talking with Dave, what he decided to do, unlike past anodized releases, is, these are all smooth, shiny anodizing. This whole release is bead blasted to give it kind of a satiny texture to it, and then anodized in a satin anodizing. And so you end up with this almost satin kind of feel to the finish. It just has got just a different feel to it, than the shinier, slicker surfaces of the older releases. So that in itself distinguishes this. It's really cool color in this this kind of earthy olive kind of drab color to it, and then with all the black finishes. So it's a very attractive looking release, and again, for premium dollars, it should be a darn good looking release. All right. So one of the coolest, we're going to step through all the features, but here's one of the coolest features about this release is, this release right now out of the box is in a 3-finger setup. However, in this little bag right here, we can convert this release from a 3-finger to a 2-finger, eliminating this piece, or a 4-finger release. Now, in the past, say in the Xbot, it out of the box obviously is a 3-finger release, okay? Boom. But if you want a 2-finger, I guess you could take a hacksaw to it, but they actually sell a one that's a 2-finger version, and there is no 4-finger version of this release. And this has been my favorite release that Hot Shot's ever made. Now, they offer some 4-finger releases. So you'd have to go to a completely different model. Well, what if I like, say, a 3-finger in one situation and a 4-finger in another, or a 2-finger for tournament and a 4-finger for hunting? Well, I'm jumping back and forth between different releases. So the thought behind this release is, why not come up with a release that covers the entire gamut of types of shooters plus you personally? So again, maybe you're a tournament shooter that likes 2-finger, the minimalist in a tournament. Well, 2 Allen screws, you pull this out and you put in this little end tab here that's kind of extends the finger hold down, and all of a sudden, boom, you're into a 2-figure configuration. Maybe hunting, you like the full 4-finger, your whole hand type of approach. Well, you can throw in the 4-finger. It's very neat. It actually steps down on your pinky finger. Being a smaller finger, it helps give you some of that more precise hand control. So that's pretty neat that you now have all that flexibility for the different customers, but even you as an individual customer in the box. Now, on the 3-finger and 4-finger, you're going to get a lanyard loop on it. The 2-finger, obviously not, because, whoops, we're just putting this little tiny piece in here. So you do lose the lanyard loop on a 2-finger. But I would say most of your 2-finger applications are going to be in tournament situations anyway, where nobody's really going to be using a lanyard. Okay? So there's that. And then, again, those are really easy to change. It's just 2 Allen bolts, just pop them out and they swap out. Okay? So that is pretty cool. So then let's talk about some of the other features in this release. Now, this is just straight out of the box, but what Hot Shot allows you to do is a Hot Shot release, the trigger mechanism is a sear mechanism. It's very much like your high performance rifles. In fact, Dave White, who owns Hot Shot, actually has owned in the past and still is involved with high-end machining on triggers and other components for firearms like AR-15 platforms and all that. So you're getting match-grade trigger components just like high-end rifle shooters would use. That's what's going into this. And what comes with that is adjustability, okay? Now, I'm just going to point to them. I'm not going to adjust them right here on the table. This is out of the box. I'll mess with it for my own needs. But one of the cool parts is we can adjust how much force it takes to activate the sear. Now, these come with a medium spring installed, but you also get a light and a heavy spring in this bag right here. And basically what we can do is we can run, there's an Allen bolt right here. We can run that out. We can swap the springs out, and then depending on how far we run in or run out that Allen bolt, we can customize that how much pressure to our liking. So if you're a guy who likes minimal pressure, we can throw in the light spring. If you're a guy who really likes to reef on it, we can throw in the high spring, and then you can customize it from there. But they all come with the medium from the factory. The other adjustment you can do is there's a Allen screw here up on top of the trigger mechanism that basically you can adjust the amount of trigger travel that you have. So if you're a person that you want no trigger travel, boom, it goes off. You can set it. In that case, you run the screw in, as I recall. And for more travel, you're going to back it out, and that's going to allow you more travel in the trigger, okay? So fully customizable in how you can operate this release for your needs. This entire release is also customizable in the thumb button and how you position the thumb button relative to your hand and the fit of your hand, your liking. So on top, there's an Allen bolt right here. We loosen this thing up, and we can take and we can slide this thumb button in and out. We can rotate it to whatever position we want for our needs, okay? Personally, I'm a guy who likes to run it pretty short, all the way in and up here, okay? But for right now, I'm just going to kind of just lock it kind of in a medium position because I want to show you something else as well, okay? More adjustment now comes in the thumb knob as well. Now, first thing that you'll notice on this thumb knob, especially when you compare it to the older releases like the X-Spot, and I've got an Ember laying over here. These were just a knurled machined aluminum that on these, all you could do is you could turn them this way in and out like I just showed you in the other adjustment, and then rotate them like this. Now on this new thumb knob, we have almost it's a little larger, it's got some contour to it, and it's got these traction bars on it. So it's gonna give you a better feel and better thumb placement on that knob. You're just gonna be able to feel it a lot better, especially say if you're wearing gloves, it's cold out or whatever, you're gonna be able to feel it better. But what's really cool is if we go in, whoops, I gotta downsize one Allen wrench on this, and the beautiful thing is, all the Allen keys are standard size, no metric garbage here, is we can loosen this thumb knob up, and because it's got there's a ball head on the end of this shaft. In fact, there I took it completely off. Because of that, we can rotate this thumb knob any way we want to that way like we could on the old ones, but now because it's got a ball, we can actually roll it. So it can be rolled, okay? It can be rolled forward and back. I mean, so there, you can essentially put this in an infinite number of positions to customize it to your feel and what you like. Like for me, for example, I know that I kind of like it slightly angled. I'm going to tighten it down right about there. And I would take time to micro tune this. I'm just kind of doing this real quick for the sake of this video, which knowing me will already go too long the way it is. And I like my thumb button to be forward and down low. So I'm going to snug it down approximately in this spot right here. And if I compare that to my X-Spot, for example, boom. Yeah, it looks close enough for what we're doing right now. So there you go. Now I've got it customized pretty close to how I like to shoot one. I like to run it a little deeper in my thumb and all that relative to others. I've ran them out before, but it's just the way I like it. So I can fit it to me, you can fit it to you. That's a beautiful part of it, okay? So fully customizable. That is just an incredible option on this. And again, with your different fingers, you know, you can just set it up however you want it, all right? Okay, so now let's talk about a few more features on this release, okay? One of the really cool features about this release is all the internal components, okay? It's still made in the USA, the lifetime warranty, the match grade components. For example, on the X-Spot, I've got an Ember laying over here. They've used the same sear mechanisms basically for a number of years. What Dave and the gang did at Hotspot was, Hotshot, is they completely re-engineered all the components inside of the release itself. So new designs, new materials, new polishes and finishes, and it results in a crisper, cleaner break at the shot that you would expect out of, say, a match-grade high-end rifle type of platform. Ultimately, should result in better accuracy and better consistency shot to shot to shot, especially if you're a tournament archer. That's a huge deal. So it's completely redesigned, okay? The next thing I want to talk about is the hook itself, okay? So the hook in the past, for example, on an X-Spot or an Ember or any of them, and grab this trainer here. Imagine this is your D-loop on your bow. When it comes time to get ready to shoot, you've got to cock the sear, and then you've got to take your finger and you've got to, whoops, I missed it. You cock the sear, and then you're going to have to put that on your D-loop, okay? And it works all the time. I've been hunting this way for a long time. Me, I sit in a deer stand, and then this just kind of hangs there, and it's beautiful. But I've always wondered, if I was, say, out west, spot and stalk hunting, would I be able to get all that done at the moment of truth, okay? Or would I struggle? Now, there is a version of a release similar that we make called the hookup, and it's got an open hook on it. and that would be great. But then I go to a tree stand situation and go, well, I don't really think that's safe, hanging off of, my D-loop. I know there's some guys who've done it. I know Robin Parks has done it several times, but I really don't like that. So the new hook design, you can still do that, okay? We can activate the sear, and then we can close that on the D-loop the same as it always did. But what's different now is we have a gate, okay? So we have this gate right here that actually opens and closes, so we can push it open. So now I'm in a spot and stock situation, or I need to get it on the D-loop quickly, and this thing can be activated and closed, and now all I have to do, and it's much easier with a D-loop on a string than it is this little flimsy training gear, but you can take my index finger and I can push it in there. So now we got the best of both worlds. We've got the flexibility that, say, an open hook design gives you from getting on the string quick, or can just do it the old school way and hang, or whatever way you want. But that is absolutely a game-changing feature in our releases. We've never had something like that in our releases before. Okay, another thing real quick on the hook itself and the release, when we put it in the closed position and we compare it to, say, I'm going to compare it more to the Ember. They're both the same, the X-Spot and the Ember. Similar looking and style of release here. And what's changed is when we line them up from the finger positions, okay, what actually has changed, let's see if we can get this on the other camera so they line up a little bit better here, is the position relative to your fingers to where the hook is, okay? On the Ember, the X-Spot, some of our older releases, the hook is closer to where your index finger would be, okay? It's actually this direction. Now we've centered this between the index and middle finger, okay? That movement, what it allows you to do is, as you're an archer and you're at full anchor, depending on your finger position, you can influence your shot, okay? And when it's closer to your index finger, it's going to want to pull more on that index finger, and you're going to have to, if you want to roll it around because of the way you shoot, you're going to have to pull harder on that index finger. This allows you, being more centered between your fingers like this, okay? It's going to allow you to more precisely put your up and down pressures on that release, and gives you something that's more easily to repeat shot to shot to shot. So that is another, big change in that whole, in the hook position, and again, trying to get to repeatability. Another thing you'll notice with this when you start talking about the fingers is the deeper finger cut. So again, I'm just going to use the Ember as an example because, and the X-Spot's very similar, but you can see the Ember's got shallower finger cuts, more rounded off, and some may prefer that feel. Some want the deeper finger cuts. Again, the hand placement, a lot of them, feedback we're getting is the deeper cuts are going to allow you to get, again, more precise repeatability with your hand pressure and hand placement and all that. So those are the benefits, really, of the new Ignite versus, say, the X-Spot platform, the Ember platform, our hookup platform, some of the other high-end releases that the Hot Shot has made over the years. So I'm going to have to play with this some, and really get it dialed in. One change when they were doing the internals on this, I forgot to mention this. One of the things that Dave wanted to do was he wanted to put dampening in the internals. For example, when the X-Spot goes off, very loud click. When the Ember goes off, very loud click. When the Ignite goes off, it's a lesser of an audible click, okay? It's still there, but it's lesser. It's a lesser tone. They've put some dampeners in there to lessen that tone. In fact, I was speaking with Dave the other day, and he's continually working on some other dampening materials and designs to lessen that. So again, down the road, you send it in, you want it cleaned or whatever, they're going to update the release with whatever the latest components are. So that's another benefit to the release itself. So I am looking very much forward to going out and hunting with this. We're going to put this on a shot trainer and shoot a couple shots here. Oh, whoops, I hooked it up to the wrong end. That was brilliant of me. Let's hook it up to the D-loop end. There we go. So this is just a shot trainer. I can't remember who makes this. I picked this up the other day. Pretty awesome. But anyways, you can see how clean and crisp that breaks at the shot. I mean, very clean, very crisp. And that's out of the box. I haven't adjusted, anything on this trigger yet. Just very clean, very crisp. Very nice release. So, yeah, that's it. I don't know what else I can say about this. Again, Hot Shot Archery, Hot Shot Manufacturing, made in the USA, lifetime warranty. It doesn't get any better than that. You call and it's a small group of people, so you're going to deal with real people right here in the USA, in Utah, actually. So there you go. You can check them out at hotshotarchery.com. All the details there. Get out there and enjoy. I'm going to take this thing, and I still got a little bit of season left. I'm going to get out and do some hunting with it. It's really cold today, so I'm not going to go shoot my bow today, but I'm definitely going to get out and do some hunting, and this is going to be my go-to going into the 2025 turkey season. So there you go. Again, check them out, hotshotarchery.com. As always, God bless, stay safe. Turkey season will be here soon. That's awesome. It's a new day in the outdoors.